Step 1. Discipline and mentality. The first plan for Rúben Amorim will be to immediately change the discipline and mentality at the club. It has been an issue that has been around no matter the manager.
Arrive into a club that is difficult to describe.
One of Rúben Amorim's mentors, Jose Mourinho, expressed concerns about certain players not having that winning mentality. In 2023, he came out saying that there's still deadwood at the club. Players and staff members that he had warned the club about more than 7 years ago. Amorim, who actually interned under Mourinho when the special one was still at United, realized that he needs to immediately set high standards and hold players accountable. Many sources online were able to get their hands on a document, which was literally a step-by-step plan that Amorim is looking to implement at United. Following the 1-1 draw with Ipswich, reports indicated that Amorim provided players with performance ratings out of 10. A method that he hopes will provide transparency and encourage the players to improve. This way, players develop a habit of being held accountable for both good and bad performances. Just from his first game in charge, he made sure players were listening and doing exactly what he asked of them, even though it was new.
Look at him, look. He looks at the bench, look at the manager. Look at Rúben Amorim here, imploring Casemiro, go higher. Be aggressive. This is what I want. Look at him. Go.
In his own words, the first thing he wants to do is bring an identity to the side.
In my mind, one idea, one identity is everybody have the same idea.
So before any discussion of tactics and formations,
when I think the problems that we will have is more in the way you do things, with the speed, with the intensity, then to learn how to play with 5 or 4 in the back.
He wants the players to show the character that United had in the past.
This is my place. Because of all of that things that you said about the moment of this club, I think it's perfect for me.
Step 2. Implementing the 3-4-3 formation. Once an identity is established, the most significant adjustment for United players will be transitioning to Amorim's 3-4-3 system. Historically, United managers have always favored variations of the 4-back formation, but Amorim's philosophy revolves around the dynamic flexibility of the 3-4-3.
It all figures 3 or 5 at the back, which we don't see from Manchester United.
His approach emphasizes building up from a deeper phase to create space in behind the opponent, then transitioning to a more direct style in the final third to exploit those spaces. What makes Amorim's 3-4-3 so adaptable is the flexibility to suit different scenarios. Against top opposition, his teams can effectively concede possession, relying on defensive solidity and quick transitions to exploit counterattacking opportunities. On the other hand, in domestic league and cup matches, his teams often dominate possession and impose themselves onto the game. You saw it all the time with his sporting teams. For example, against Manchester City, his team had none of the ball, yet won 4-1. But then in a match against Braga, his team dominated possession and still won. But Amorim has already expressed that he wants to control and dominate games with his United team.
We need to play these teams in a different way. We cannot defend like this.
And as we have seen with his current United side, he ensures that his tactical setup is unpredictable and effective depending on the opponent and context. One thing that Amorim has already noticed is that the current United side loses the ball too quickly.
I think we lose the ball too fast. We win the ball, we lose the ball. And you cannot press high all the time.
This is most likely down to the poor habits of the team built while playing in Ten Hag's 4-2-3 system, where the players would be stretched so far from each other that it made it difficult to build out of pressure.
This is one of the most poorly coached teams in the Premier League. That's a fact.
In Amorim's 3-back system though, United look drastically different. Building out from the back, the central center-back steps into the midfield, creating a double pivot with the holding midfielder. At the same time, one of the central midfielders will push higher and the 2 wingers will invert in, creating a narrow 4-2-2 that overloads the middle of the pitch. With them having numbers in the middle center-back and holding center midfielder drop closer to the 2 center-backs, and now the full-backs have the complete freedom to push forward, providing some much-needed width. The United players are adjusting well, but it will take some time for them to fully understand the system, and there are definitely certain profiles that Amorim will want to bring in. For now, some of the players have adapted well to the new style. Onana is a perfect fit goalkeeper. He's very good with the ball at his feet.
Delap, what a save. See what it means to Andre Onana.
Yoro is a young athletic center-back. Mazraoui and Lisandro Martinez are fantastic on the ball. They're aggressive, and more importantly, they're so versatile. Both are comfortable on the ball and progressing it, but they can also play in a multitude of different positions. Same thing goes for Amad Diallo, but I really do hope that Amorim uses him more as a right winger because I feel like his qualities are wasted as a right wing back. Step 3. Reorganizing the defensive structure. Under Ten Hag, United's defense was too exposed. There was always a gap in the middle due to Ten Hag wanting the side to press, but also not have a high line. It made the press difficult as the attackers would be outnumbered by the opposition defensive midfielders.
But they've got to get up the pitch, get the back four up the pitch, make sure they're a lot higher, win the ball higher up the pitch.
So when teams would break out of the press, they had as much space as they want in the center of the park. Just look at United's games against Liverpool and Tottenham.
Tough day for United. You know, I thank God I've never been part of a team that's been beaten by that much, and we're playing for Man United.
Amorim solves this issue by implementing a high line. His Sporting team had one of the highest back lines in Europe. The team is high up the pitch and compact so that they can press as a unit. Since Amorim's side have 3 narrow center backs, it forces the teams to have to counter using the wings, which gives the team more time to recover, as opposed to them going straight through the middle under Ten Hag. Step 4. Enhancing tactical flexibility. Amorim has already shown his tactical flexibility early in his United career, changing formation multiple times, often within the same game. Against Everton, for example, at times Dalot would move from left wing back to a more traditional left back, while Amad would push from right wing back to further up the pitch as a right winger, changing the shape from a 3-4-3 to a 4-4-2. Part of him changing formation so much is trying to find what works, but Amorim's system is naturally known for its ability to transition seamlessly. In the attack, he likes to keep the role of the striker, the 2 pivots, and the 3 center backs fixed, but the wing backs, along with the 2 10s right behind the striker, have the freedom to move around.
But it seems fullbacks are expected to get forwards.
This makes it really difficult for the opposition, who have to be worried both about the players in fixed positions, but also be aware of the movement of the attackers as they roam around freely.
And a second for him. 4-0. Joshua Zirkzee.
It leads to some creative combinations. He also encourages players to be comfortable in multiple positions.
4-0. Joshua Zirkzee.
For example, the way Marcus Rashford played as one of the 10s next to Højlund is very different than the role that he was asked from when he was playing off of Xerxes as the striker. Mazraoui is another example, a player who has played as a right center back, as a left center back, sometimes as a right wing back. Bruno has been used as one of the double pivots as well as one of the 10s.
Fernandes could do that job.
I think he is able to do that because from what I see right now, he wants to be everywhere in the pitch.
This approach from Amorim means that players can understand their role better within the tactical setup and understand how they contribute to the team as a whole.
Is to, in the end of the season, the supporters go to the stadium and they already know.
Step 6. Adapting training methods. To play Rúben Amorim's intense 3-4-3 system, you have to be fit. And based on what he has seen in training, he feels many players lack the speed and intensity to be able to do what he wants.
Team was ever a good team without hard work. Manchester United are 13th in the league and their running stats, their distance covered is 16th in the league.
He has consistently asked players to elevate their pace, aiming to have a high energy style of play, just like his successful time at Sporting.
They also have players in the team who don't want to run, or when they do run, they don't run hard enough, fast enough, or long enough. So he has to get that into the dressing room, that mentality.
The focus on intensity is designed to prepare players for the physical demands of competitive matches. Amorim recognizes the demanding Premier League schedule and understands that he has limited training time available with his players. As a result, he has implemented some innovative methods to quickly elevate the team's physical conditioning and tactical understanding.
What is the average meters that you have to run with light speed run, the sprint. You have all this data and you have to cope with that. So you already know your goal is to reach that.
Instead of lengthy videos showing players where they need to be, he has replaced that with 12-minute focus clips so that the players can stay engaged while watching. It's like my videos, right? I gotta find ways for you guys to keep enjoying them no matter the length. He is also complementing the videos with walkthroughs and training where he will jog or walk with the players to show them where they need to be in specific situations. Then on top of this, Amorim's coaching staff provides individualized coaching to those who need it. For example, his assistant coach Carlos Fernandes works with the strikers, providing tailor-made instructions to improve their individual performance within the team's overall tactical framework. This personalized attention helps the players adapt to new roles and responsibilities, making the transition to Amorim's system smoother. Then on top of all of this, Amorim will make sure to rotate players and use the subs to manage the fitness. We've already seen that a ton of times now. He will rotate the team midweek even if it's a massive fixture. Step 7. Fostering the youth. A big part of the rotation is for Amorim to utilize the young players more. He has already given Amad plenty of game time and responsibility, a player who was overlooked time and time again by Ten Hag. Amad has shown in any role that was asked from him by the Portuguese manager, and his performance against Everton was a reminder of what he can do when given the opportunity. Another example is the early inclusion of Goodwill Kokoni to train with the first team. The 6'5" centre back, who has been with Manchester United since the age of 5, was brought into the first matchday squad under Amorim, signaling the manager's trust in young talent. He had done the exact same thing at Sporting, promoting young players and providing them with playing time and development opportunities. A notable example being Giovanni Quenda, who under Amorim's guidance became the youngest player to score for Sporting in the Primera Liga. Amorim praised Quenda's talent and maturity, stating he is a very talented kid. He is physically robust, focused, with his feet firmly on the ground. Manchester United fans should be excited because this step in Amorim's blueprint aligns with the club's long-standing tradition of promoting youth players. His track record shows that his belief in the capabilities of young players and his commitment to their development has benefited the team both in performance and squad depth.
There are many good coaches out there. I think this is a good, exciting acquisition, as I say. But he needs to have the support, he needs to have that time, and he needs to go, this is how I want us to be. Because nobody knows what Manchester United are anymore at the moment. He wants to go and coach, he wants to work, and then when he gets to the point and go, right, well, that one, he doesn't want to do it, or he's not going to work, I need wing-backs, whatever it is, to take this club forward. If they can get together, and there are no excuses for the players out there, then they can make those decisions easier.
And of course, step 8, compete for major trophies. This step is the last step, but United fans will have to wait. Amorim himself stated that it will take him at least 2 years.
2 years, you can understand if I'm the right manager to go in this process.
He needs time, not just to instill his philosophy, but to bring in the players that he wants. Investments are needed even off the pitch. Remember Ronaldo talking about how poor some of the amenities of the club were despite how big of a club Manchester United are?
Nothing changed. Surprisingly, not only the pool, the jacuzzi, even the gym.
Amorim has a blueprint. You just have to give him time to implement it. In fact, his blueprint shares a lot of similarities with his mentor, Jose Mourinho. To see how similar the journey of the two Portuguese managers has been, you have to check out this video right here.